You are listening to the Ebony Covering Black America Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to Two Gems and a Mic. I'm LD along with my girl Tanisha, the Diva Mahomes. What's up?
Hey, you know how I feel. What's going on? Talk to me.
All right, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna get to our Cowboys and our Giants later on, but we're gonna start off with we're gonna cover our games that we want to cover for the week. We're not gonna cover all the games that happen, and then we're gonna go into our predictions in the second half of the show. We're gonna bring in Darren. We're gonna talk about our predictions for next week. But let's start off with that game of the week, the Miami versus Buffalo game. What's your thoughts there?
It was it. It didn't let down. I mean, you didn't know what you were gonna get. Um, I mean, you knew that they were gonna battle. I did not think that Miami was going to win that game, but that's just because we didn't have enough out there to know exactly what Tua and Waddle and Hill could do. I felt like the couple of games the games we had seen with the Bills, it just seemed so dominant. You know, they left that dominant taste in your mouth, like they're just gonna go out there and just spank everybody.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went in. I love Tyreek Hill. There's no ifs and buts about that. So I know Tyreek can be a game changer. So it was always like, anything can happen. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's all good. I mean, they have a great team. That Waddle and Hill combo, you'll be hard pressed to find a better wide receiver duo than those two right now.
Yeah, I thought they were good. I think one of the things that hurt Buffalo, I mean, when Micah Hyde went down, that's a big hit.
Of course.
I've been following that guy. I liked him ever since when he was in Green Bay. Never understood why they let him go. But him going down, that was a big loss. They were also missing two others. So it was total of three defensive starters that was missing. That changed the game for them. Also, I expected the Bills to win. I didn't expect it to be a blowout. Still not sure what the I know we know Miami. We know Miami. We got Waddle. We got Gesicki. We have Hill. So
Hill.
we know we have that. What else? I don't know. Josh Allen just has a lot of different weapons that he can use. So I'm just not counting him out. That was just, one game. What I didn't understand and what troubled me was that Tua injury.
Well, it should have, because I can remember back when the Chiefs were playing and Lil Pat he popped up real quick and he wobbled a little bit. I knew when he wobbled, for that small little wobble, that he was done. And that was the game. I think they Henning came in and played against Baker Mayfield, and they ended up pulling it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be clear. Tua did more than Waddle. He damn near fell over. Not once,
He
not
looked like
twice.
a baby. He looked like a brand new born, just fresh born baby calf trying to get their legs. That's what he looked like.
Exactly. Not a deer.
And I guess what the part that troubles me is that these coaches, these doctors, saying, it wasn't neurological, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. They talk about player safety. No hits to the head, no this, no that. When you see something like that happen with a player, why not just take them out for precaution? Has the game gotten to that point where it's that important, where it's over somebody's health or long-term health? We see people now, as they die, we're finding out they got CTE because they took hits, they did this, they did that. You can see his head, slam to the ground. So I just it disturbed me as much as it disturbed me, and I think we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Herbert.
Herbert. I mean, you're losing, and the coach says that he told him he wanted to stay in the game. You're the coach. You're the coach for a reason.
I'll tell you what.
In the game? Yeah.
I'll tell you what that reminds me of. That when you don't have a coach that's willing to make the decision that needs to be made. I mean, let's be clear. Tua was concussed. I don't give a crap what anybody says. That wobble, that little fresh baby deer, looked like he couldn't even get it together. Fell down, came back up, had his teammates trying to hold him. He still got the stanky leg. You feel me?
Yeah.
He was done.
It was
Okay,
too
you
much.
go back in at halftime. They splash some water on face like a boxer. You know what I mean? They splash water on face. They basically try to get you right in some kind of way. He got to go back out there. At one point in the league, like I said, they were protecting the quarterback. But now it seems like it's more about entertainment value than anything else, because that brings us to Herbert, who we know got his clock clean when he was playing the Chiefs. I mean, this dude was banged up. He couldn't even breathe. He couldn't run. He couldn't do any of that. And you're going to tell me in 7 days, a guy that was completely banged up was out there playing a full game? No.
No, you could see when he took a couple of hits, you could see him grimacing. So I just don't understand. I've coached. I have not coached at that level, but I've coached enough to know that if I see a player, they can say, "Yep, coach, I'm good. I'm good. I don't think you're good. I may be wrong, but you're coming out for your safety, for your own safety." But that's just something that
Yeah, I mean, and I think, and I'm gonna be honest, the league's got to do a better job. I mean,
Yeah.
this whole investigation, I don't care about that. The game's over.
Yes,
You needed to protect the player while the player was going through whatever they're going through, because every athlete that's a true athlete, you got to drag them off the field.
Yeah.
So you can't leave it up to them.
Pretty much.
You can't leave it up to them.
Pretty much. Yeah, Josh Allen, I mean, after that game, he was worn out. It was hot. He was worn out. I don't remember the stats. I did not write them down, but how many snaps he took, how long he was out on the field.
I think 44 or something.
Yeah, he's not one that can take a break. So
he's a big
man.
man.
I like to see him. Yeah, I like to see him under some different, different conditions. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, let's move on then.
All right. So let's talk about Philly. Philly versus the Commanders.
Well, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I mean, I'm not mad. They're 3-0.
Yeah, they're
3-0. Hurts is confidence is at an all-time high. It's got to feel good to shut up the naysayers. It's got to feel good to go out there and get it done week after week after week. We're in week 3, and I don't care what anybody says. It's hard to be a 3-0. Hard to be 3-0, or more people will be 3-0.
Yeah.
So
the one thing that worries me about them, and he said it last week, and the same thing happened this week. So if you look at the box score, they scored 24 points in the second quarter. That was it. And their defense has been holding them down. So I don't know where you're going to get that production from consistently, but you've got to get it consistently. That's for any team. You've got to be consistent throughout. Because if you go back to game 1 when they played Detroit, they were whooping Detroit up, but Detroit walked them down. And one of those scores was a defensive score when Bradbury ran it back for, he had a pick 6.
Yeah, and granted, I mean, but if I'm a Philly fan, what's good about that is A.J. Brown was going off one game. This time was Devontae Smith. So it's being spread out differently. If you can ever get those two going off together, that's trouble.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I mean, of course, Goddard. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's the good thing about it. It seems like everybody is getting some catches in. It just hasn't come in quite yet. And this is still early. We're still early. Yeah. So if these dudes are doing this and they're being able to fumble their way through it and still getting these wins, when it all comes together, I mean, they look scary. They look scary.
Oh yeah, I to me, I said it before the season and I still say it now. I said that's my pick. To win that division. So we'll see. We'll see.
Somebody else 3-0 over there, don't you?
Not in that division.
Huh? No, you're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
You're
right. My bad.
So Baltimore versus New England. So I added another $10 million onto
Not say 10 million.
Yeah. Every week I'm adding $10 million onto Lamar's contract.
Well,
because it's I mean, what can he do? He can't play defense.
He's the MVP right now.
To me, in my eyes.
Prove me wrong. Explain to me how you gonna do it. The man throwing, I think he got the highest quarterback rating right now. I mean, what else you want him to do?
He throwing and he running. Like you said, we said it last week. He can't play defense.
Well, I can tell you one thing. What we do know over there in Raven Stadium, yesterday's price is not today's price.
No, definitely
You're in trouble, folks.
And they gave away a game. His defense gave away a game to Miami. So I know 4 touchdowns in a quarter. That's not the Ravens way. So the Ravens record could be looking a lot better than that. He is. He's playing MVP caliber ball. If he continues to play that, like we had the conversation, he can't sit out. If he sits out, he doesn't get paid. If he this, if he that, the ones that are going to lose out the most are going to be the Ravens. So
Absolutely. How you
my
gonna
thing
sit
is
that
just
man?
pay the
How
man.
you gonna upset this guy?
Right,
I
pay
mean,
the man.
let's be honest. He's done. He's gambling on himself. And man, when I tell you he throwing 7s and 11s, baby, he is killing it out there. And it's not every week. It's the same thing. Oh, that price is going up. That price is going
Ching
up. They
ching.
should have. Yeah, I love it. I love it. They should have paid him anyway. He never
Ching
should have had
ching.
to go through all that. So
All
let's
right,
get it. Yeah,
we're gonna
let's
hit this
move on.
last one before we go to break. This was the one that was personal for me and you.
I'm sorry for you.
Cowboys, Cowgirls, and the Giants. Go ahead. What you got to say?
And we won. Cooper, we won. I'm sorry. And I know you're gonna get on Daniel, but I am impressed with Cooper Rush right now. I'm impressed that the moment is not too big for him, that he stepped up and done exactly what he needed to do. We were hoping that we'd get 2 good games out of him. He gave us that. Okay. Dak is he's teetering on whether or not he's coming
Right.
back this week. I don't expect him back this week.
I wouldn't bring him
He
back playing
probably
against the
I would
Commanders. I would let Cooper play that game. I wouldn't even bring
I
him back.
wouldn't bring him back until they lose. If he's healthy, I wouldn't bring him back until they actually lose.
Well, they
Because
ain't gonna do that.
every week he has the ability to get a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger. So yeah, I'm happy.
He
Cooper's
would have
done his
more. The
job.
receivers couldn't catch the ball. Take nothing away from Cooper Rush. I'm gonna say the same thing I always say, even when we were 2-0. Daniel Jones is not the quarterback for the New York Giants. The experiment is over. It's 4 years. Let him go. Let's move on. When I see Tyrod Taylor in the background sitting over there, I don't know how we ran practices as the New York Giants and said, "Oh, Daniel Jones beat out Tyrod Taylor." I'm not buying it.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, that's
And
not
the offensive
that's
line,
not
I
a
hear
true
people
story.
saying, I'm reading where people saying this is the best game that he played, given if that's the best game he played, I don't care if the O-line sucked. If that's the best game that he played, that's sad. That ain't saying much. Now, he had highlights where he had a 5-touchdown game of this and that. What we're looking for is consistency, and we're not getting any consistency from him whatsoever. So,
But
I'm
you're
just
coming from a different angle, Linda. You bleed blue.
That's right.
So you know history. And then sometimes I told you, I had to give you a pep talk the other week. I said, hey, it's okay when you win. Like you're not used to winning. You can't even appreciate a win. I don't give a crap how you get it. You can't even appreciate a
because
win.
you know what's coming, right? So you win those games, and then you got your first division game, which is a big game against the Cowboys at home. You're riding that, and it's like, come on, you're not pumped up for that. Fans are pumped and all that, but it's almost like, as a Giant fan, which is really sad, I know. You just wait. Like, I'm waiting. I'm like, when is the interception coming?
But just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride while you're on it, because you know it's going down eventually. But at least enjoy it while it's going up. I can't even get you to enjoy the win.
No,
you know what I'm saying? We won against y'all. I was cabbage patching. You feel me? I was on it. You know what I mean? So
I know we won the game, and I did. I bitched and complained the whole time.
You did.
Yes, you did. Because I just don't have confidence in him, and I don't. If I just, people are gonna say what they got to say in the locker room, and you're supposed to say what you got to say in the locker room. That's our quarterback. Whatever. Ain't no confidence in him. And now they want to blame everything on Kenny Galladay. If Kenny Galladay played 2 snaps last week, and now he's playing more, and he dropped the ball, like he said, he was trying to make a move, and he knows that's a rookie mistake. You can't do that. So I get that, but don't blame it on Kenny Galladay.
But you done paid Kenny Galladay all this money, and y'all treating him like a $3 trick. I mean, it's not fair.
Right.
Kenny don't deserve that.
No, don't blame it all on him. You can't blame the
No,
losses on him. There's a lot of things that went
but I'm
on.
gonna tell y'all something else y'all not doing. Y'all need to put that ball in Saquon's hands. Saquon is back, okay? Y'all not doing enough of that. If you want to win, you need to let that running back out there doing all what he's doing. He done worked his butt off to get back to there. You need to give him the ball.
I agree.
That'll help Danny out a whole lot.
I agree.
Danny Dimes, as y'all like to call him.
Yeah, he don't. No, I ain't never called him Danny Dimes. I call him Danny Penny. You know, I call him Danny Penny.
Well, I ain't want to do it to him.
I did it to him. I
ain't want to do it to him.
I still bleed blue though. You know, I'm gonna bleed blue. So
Absolutely.
we gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back with our picks for next week for week 4. Yep, we'll be back right after this break.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back with our boy. We got Darren Smith with us.
Hey, ladies. What it do?
It do what it do. That's what it do.
Talk your talk. I know it's coming, baby. Talk your talk.
All right. Well, we're gonna start off with one of Darren's favorite, well, his team, one of his favorite teams, or his favorite team, team that he covers. Let's put it that way. Next week,
let's do that.
we got the preview, right, for the Kansas City versus Tampa Bay. Yeah. So first of all, we want to say, to everybody in Florida that may be impacted by this hurricane, our prayers are with you. We pray for your safety, pray for your family's safety, all of that. Football is second, right? Football is second. Let's be safe. So we'll jump right in. So who y'all got and why? And who needs to do? First of all, let me ask this, a 3-part question. I'm gonna let y'all answer. Who you got? Why? Both of them look terrible last week to me. And what do they need to do? Let's go there.
Linda with the hot take. Oh my gosh. What's hold on? I'm gonna say this. I guess Linda can say something bad about Patrick, but Lord knows I better not say Patrick.
No. I didn't call out. I didn't call out Patrick.
No. I had no problem calling him out. I stand by that because he was wrong. Because you don't show up a coach on the sideline regardless. Now,
I don't think. No. I saw it. Wait a minute.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
Let's touch that. We all saw it because they zoomed in on it on the TV. You were there. You were sitting there with binoculars. I don't think he showed them up. I think what it was they were saying, "Look, I want to play." And as a fan, I'm sitting there saying, "This Patrick Mahomes, the same dude that ran down with 13 seconds and won a game. You're not going to at least give it a shot."
This was the same Patrick Mahomes that also, right before halftime, the AFC Championship game, should have gone for the field goal. Instead, he threw the pass to Tyreek.
They didn't try nothing. They didn't try anything.
They didn't.
You ran the ball once, and then you let 15 seconds run off the clock.
Yes, but you also have to know. You also have to know the momentum and how the game is being. The game, the first half was a sloppy first half, all the way around. Just like Airbnb said. Hey, relax. We get the ball coming out the second half. Let's go in, recharge, get back on track, and let's come out and do what we need to do.
And I can respect that, but how everybody blew it up, and even your comment where he was wrong, period, I didn't think he was showing them up. I think people blew it up and wanted more and started carrying stuff over from last year. To me, it's a discussion. And I'm going
to tell you what I really think is going on. I think we all know that Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach. And we all know that everything he does, he's been under a microscope. Yeah. He's trying to get that next job. But let me be clear: just because Airbnb is a black coach does not mean you can't have a comment or you can't argue with. You name me one NFL head. NFL quarterback that hadn't had something to say to their offense coordinator. You name me one. He's not beneath comment.
No. No one ever said Airbnb is no. My point is Patrick Mahomes is the one that people act like you can't criticize because
that's not it.
That's not what happened. We're talking about.
Hold on. Can I speak, please?
Yes, you can. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Make some sense.
Well, let me speak. Quit trying to interrupt me. Okay,
right, let's get it.
So when I said it, because look, people don't seem to have a problem when Brady is showing up his receivers yelling at Josh McDaniels when he was at New England. I mean,
I don't
hell,
know what
just
those
two
are.
weeks ago, against Tampa Bay when he was throwing the fit, breaking tackles or whatever. What did they say? Oh, that's competitive fire. No, I mean, look, there are just some things that, look, especially when you fancy yourself being a role model. And the reason why I say he was wrong, and look, and this is the biggest thing, is that I am someone who is when it comes to how we look and how we are represented, because knowing the situation that took place at at the half or whatever, and stuff coming out, and some article coming out, whatever. To me, it's not a good look appearance wise, television wise, where you see whether even though Eric is telling him it's okay, it's all right, calm down, whatever, and Patrick is all animated. I'm saying,
And it wasn't Darren. I don't know what you was
Linda,
looking
I'm
at
saying,
because they
hold on,
showed it.
Linda, you asked me a question. Can I answer it? I'm
No,
saying,
but
yeah,
you
let me.
saying stuff that is not true. He was talking to him. You like he all
Oh,
animated. He
okay,
wasn't.
okay. First of all, he wasn't just talking to him like you and I having a conversation. He was using hands. He was using gestures. I'm saying. So I was, like you said, I had binoculars on. I was there, which is on television. We all saw the same thing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if your definition of animated is not him, doing all that stuff, I don't know what is. So again,
But I guess my whole thing is that if why is Eric Bieniemy a coordinator that can't be addressed? I mean, hell,
nobody said
I
he couldn't
mean,
be
this is
addressed.
what I'm saying is this what you're seeing. I believe what you're truly seeing on TV right now, and I'm not trying to take up for my nephew. I'm telling you that this is not 2017 when he came in. He didn't understand the game. This is a guy who now is older. He's more mature. He's understanding the game more, and he just had a difference of opinion on what they should be doing before they ran off into halftime, but it's being blown up as if it was some big old fight on the sideline because you reverted back to last year's game. Get that out of your mind because nobody knows what happened in the locker room but them. Okay, what we do know though is they just had a little small little, hey, I think we should do this, blah blah blah. That's not something to be blown up. Hell, Brady was throwing tablets and
Yeah, I
got
think
less fanfare.
right. So, okay, we beat that. We agree to disagree on what went on there. But let's talk about
Yeah,
what each team needs to
these
do
things
and
are
who's
real
going to win that
athletes
game.
argue.
Yeah,
Next.
both teams coming off of losses.
yeah,
Kansas City looks like they should be able to clean up what they obviously didn't do last week. Tampa Bay looked like they were really struggling offensively, Linda. And to me,
they did.
if between the two, I would say Kansas City has a better chance of rectifying what they didn't do. And even though
Well,
Brady's
so
going to
what is
get
it that
back
you
Mike Evans, I
what do
think
you what is it that you think that Kansas City really didn't do well
I don't think they ran the
last week?
ball effectively. I know
Okay,
because Patrick was a leading rusher. I mean that's Clyde Edwards-Helaire seven rushes, 7 rush attempts for 0 yards. That's not good. Pacheco, a lot of people are shocked about the rookies, not Sky Moore and a few others, not getting enough
Not being
touches.
used.
Yeah, not being utilized. And then look, I still feel that in some way that Patrick still has to get on the same page with Marquez Valdez Scanlon. I think a little. Now I will say
Yep.
that I felt that, and Steve and I talked about in our pregame show that I thought that this would be the game that if nothing else he would force throws to MVS and Juju just because you come out of the game against the Chargers and they only had to combine 5 catches amongst each other. If they're your number one, number two wide receiver, they should be more active, in the passing game. And
and the
so
thing and
yeah,
the reason we asked you that question, Darren, or I said I do, and
yeah.
Tanisha, I'm gonna pass it to you in a
No, no.
second, is
That's
because watching it, the only time I swear the only time you get to see what was missing is if Tony Romo was calling the game. Because he'll
right.
tell you who was open and what didn't happen. Watching it on TV, we can't see. Like, damn, this dude was open, or he made a nice this, he made that. You don't see that.
Yeah.
All they're showing is Patrick, and then they zoom to where
Yeah,
he throws,
what the final outcome be,
or
yeah.
not even just Patrick, any quarterback. And then you're like, because I'm wondering, I'm still hate to go back, but with the Giants, I'm like, what is Daniel Jones seeing? So you'd like to see kind of what they're seeing or what they're missing, and we don't get
Well,
that
No, you
from
got a
well,
good point.
television.
I'm sorry. I'm saying you got a good point because if you think about it, like the Raiders and the Titans game, I mean, Devontae Adams was open many times. It's like, bro, you got the top wide receiver. Why are you not looking for him? And he just wasn't looking for him. But also, yeah, to your point, I get that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tanisha.
Oh, I'm with you guys. Like, unfortunately for me, they weren't showing in my area. I had the red zone it, so every time
What?
I just saw the garbage time basically because it just looked horrible to me. Every time they got in the red zone, I was just like, Lord have mercy, what
Tanisha,
is
Same
you need to
here.
going
get you a
on?
We
fire. You
didn't
need to
get to
get you
see
a
the.
fire stick and
We didn't
holler at
get
your
to.
boy.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
yeah, we didn't get to see the whole thing. But even that, even the games that they're showing, and you watch the whole game, Sunday night, Monday night.
It is
Sometimes they will show
frustrating.
you who was open, who wasn't, what they're looking at.
mm-hmm.
So you're missing a lot of it. So I'm gonna
Hold on, but
say,
let me ask you
uh-huh,
one question right quick, Linda. So,
mhm.
to that point, we kind of had this conversation, I think, throughout the week. But do you think it's where the defenses are actually getting better, better game planning than what the offense
And
is
that's
doing?
I
And I
really
mean, that's
can't
just the
call.
question I'm asking.
Only thing I can call is from on the line, right? Like if
Mm.
watching the Dallas game, Giants game, that line was coming at him,
Yeah.
and our
What?
line looked
Oh yeah.
horrible. Our line looked horrible. But what was the coverage? Like if he had got quick passes out, I don't know if those guys were covered within that 10 yards. You
Yeah.
can't see that, and they don't show that, so I really don't know. So yeah, great question, but yeah,
Yeah.
ESPN or whoever showing the game, NFL Network. Let's get some good commentary. I'm telling you,
I,
that's why I love watching a
But
Tony
I'm
Romo call game because he's
yeah, I'm
he's
gonna
pointing
tell
that stuff
you
out.
the little bit that I saw. I mean, Patrick is gonna have to change his mindset a little bit. He's going to have to pop that ball out a lot quicker than he's been used to popping it out because they may be 3-4 yards up the field the whole way. It just may be a different look. But what I saw when they did, it was like you may have a running back that popped out. He could have hit him right then, but of course he's looking to try to give Juju an opportunity, and that's the difference in that speed where he's used to people getting open a little bit faster, and I think he's going to have to adjust. I mean, this is what happens when you have a bunch of twos and threes and no one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll say this, Tanisha,
And I'll
because
say it.
I think we still got to get your pick on this game or how you look. But but to your point about Patrick and throwing the ball, Orlando Brown was getting the business done. Was being taken to the
What?
woodshed
Yes, he
Sunday against
was.
the Colts. And now,
Not a good day.
and they said he may have been coming, may have come to the game a little bit injured, and that was against now the Colts. Their defensive front is good, but they're
Yeah.
going up against the Bucks. The Bucks, I think, have the number one defense right now. And the way Shaq Barrett was talking about the offensive line earlier this week,
Yeah, I
I
saw
mean,
it.
it look,
But
He
hey,
get
said
they
it's
better
he said
yeah,
it's the same
but
thing that they saw in the Super
but
Bowl.
look at what they've been doing. They've been holding teams, right? They
yeah.
held Green Bay, but they ain't putting up no damn points.
But again, that's why it's gonna be important for them to establish a running game because the one thing that we've seen Brady and the Bucks do, they've been utilizing Leonard Fournette. They've been using that run game, and so even though it might
It's
not
the
look
run
pretty,
game.
I'm
We've
sorry.
been trying to establish the
No, no,
run
no, no.
game,
I get it. No, but I'm saying,
but
but that's what
it's
Kansas
not
City's gonna do.
working. It's just not working.
Yeah.
Flat
Yeah, no,
out.
I'm talking about for the Bucks. Now I'm talking about the Bucks.
No, I'm
I
talking
just
about the Chiefs.
I get
I'm
that.
talking about
We off the
Clyde
Chiefs.
Edwards-Helaire.
We off the
I'm
Chiefs now.
talking
We
about
moving
all
to the
that.
Bucks.
Yeah.
What the Bucks got to do. So the Bucks haven't impressed me on their defense is doing what they're doing on offense. I mean, yeah, you didn't have what's that fool's
Mike
name that was
Evans.
out there fighting? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna
Mike
call him, a
Evans,
fool, a
Godwin,
damn fool, right? You
Godwin.
didn't have. Come on, Mike Evans, really? That's Tom Brady. I gotta defend him. Get out
Man,
of here
whatever.
with that. So
Hey, but
he
Linda,
he
but
should have
one.
been he should have been suspended 3-4 games just for saying that.
I know he looks softer than drugstore cotton.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Say it with your chest, Linda. To me.
that right. Yeah,
He did.
But
you know,
no, but hey, but I do want to say this though, because we talk about how the Bucks offense has been struggling. Let's give credit's due now because the Chiefs defense has been, look, I asked a question Sunday,
Absolutely.
I think to Justin, where I thought the defense had been balling because, granted,
They're doing good
they gave
enough.
up 20 points, but a lot of it again,
but that was
you have a muff
you
punt,
had, you had
so
that
you have a
penalty
muff, yeah, so
There's a
so so so
muff.
so
and
so
a muff.
essentially they only gave up 13 points, because I don't count that first touchdown because that was a muff punt. So for me, it's like, hey man, the defense has been doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's the
Yeah,
offense now that's gotta
that got
got
to
to
step
catch up
up.
to what they got going on.
I
So
agree. I
And
agree
I keep
100%. So I
saying
think
that's
we
what
beat
happened
that
when you
one.
have a bunch of
We beat
twos
that
and
one to
threes
death.
instead of one.
Who you calling, Tanisha? You calling the Bucks or
Chiefs.
Chiefs? I got the Chiefs. We all agree on that.
all
All
I
right,
right.
got
let's
the
go.
Chiefs.
Let's go with this one here. Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be ugly. Or I'm telling you, this is what I feel like. This is truly how I feel.
I feel like it's going to be
It's going to be an ugly game, or Vegas is just going to blow them out of the water.
Well,
Vegas is desperate.
I'm going to ask you, why do you feel that way?
Vegas is desperate. They about to be 0-4.
I think Devontae Adams' comments this week again, as I mentioned earlier,
frustrated as hell.
Yeah, because I mean, they should. And I think it was reported after the Raiders lost to the Titans that Josh McDaniels spent like a half hour after the game talking to the owner, Mark Davis. So he's probably trying to figure out, like, bro, what's going on? And look,
Mark, like, you know what Mark Davis said to him? He said, "Do I need to bring Asia Wilson down here, Kelsey Plum?
Get it fixed.
Do I need to bring John Gruden back?
Do I need to bring Becky Hammond? Do I need to put her on the bench?"
Anybody ever seen Body and Soul? Get it fixed. The old school will know what I'm talking about. Get it fixed.
I'm surprised though. I think the Broncos win this game.
Do you?
I do. I just look. His was crazy. It just seemed like the Broncos' offense runs so slow where it'll just be time consuming on the clock for real. I mean, because defensively they're good. I mean, they can get after it and they because I think the matchup to watch is going to be Patrick Surtain against Devontae Adams. I think that's going to be worth the price of admission alone. Yeah, and so, but I think they'll be able to get after Derek Carr. I think that defense would treat him like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think they'll be able to get some hits on him, and look, if
they got the team,
and so my thing is, if Derek Carr doesn't get the ball to Devontae Adams, they're going to lose. I get Waller, I get Renfro. But you don't pay this man this kind of money, and he only has two catches against the Titans and 2 catches against the Arizona
Cardinals. He probably had about 6-7 touchdowns if he was still with Aaron Rodgers. I ain't gonna lie.
He'd have had 15 when he was with Pat.
Yeah, you know that. I have not seen a full Raiders game to break it down. So to say I can pick out the pieces to say what's going on. I don't know what's going on with them. I mean. Because I'm not impressed with the Titans. I think they're a better team on paper than the Titans. So I'm like, I couldn't.
Oh Lord, yes.
And you know what? And look, and this is the crazy thing about the NFL.
Somebody needs to be fired over there in the Titans.
We see how these teams are from one week to the next. I mean, obviously, the Titans couldn't do nothing against the Buffalo Bills, and then the next week, boom.
Shit, they couldn't do nothing. I thought they was gonna beat the hell out of my Giants, and the Giants went in there.
The Titans had lost their mind. They lost their mind when they gave up AJ Brown and Corey Davis. Period. Yeah. Somebody need to be fired. Well, period. I keep saying it. But I got somebody will be fired by the end of this year.
Who you got? I got Vegas.
Okay.
Who you got, Tanisha?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Russell Wilson because in the Broncos. Let me tell you why. Because I feel like every week Russell is giving out lessons. And eventually they're gonna get on board and they're gonna get on the same slate. I'm going with Russell. The more time that he got to get them right, but I honestly think that the Raiders have the better team.
But I will say this though. I know we talked about Josh McDaniels, but also the head coach Nathaniel Hackett. There's some questions about his coaching.
There's a whole lot of questions
as well.
Yes, sir.
There's a whole lot. 11-10. And we pumping our fists 11-10.
Dude, he loved timeouts.
Yeah, what you call 12-14? So I don't know. Okay, let's go to Miami and Cincinnati. Miami and
Thursday night.
Yeah, and the Bungles. Right. So who gonna win this one?
Miami.
Well, right now the problem is that you don't know who's going to be playing for Miami. You got Tua that's on the list, Waddle's on the list. I mean, they've got a lot of players right now that's questionable for the game. So
an hour before the game, they coming back. all the cues are going away an hour before the game. All of them.
I'm gonna say
they not taking a chance
of
losing.
This is in Cincinnati too, right?
What?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going with the Bengals because the Bengals. Oh God, they just, I didn't think Joe Burrow was the next coming of Christ, last year. I don't think he is this year. I think he's a good quarterback. They just have not shown, and Chase has not done what Chase is capable of doing. So
I got 5 on it.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they've
You
got.
want to bet 5? I'm going with the Miami Dolphins.
okay, I bet you $5.
All right, there it
But we
is.
got 5 on it. I take your money too, Darren.
Thank you.
Nah,
I'm
because I
going
mean,
with I'm going with the Bengals.
you going with the. Oh man,
Mhm.
He's like, ugh.
Well, no, because it's like Cincinnati can't protect Burrow, but this game's at home Thursday night. The Thursday night teams have been undefeated so far, I believe. Well, no, because
On the home team?
because the Rams lost openly. I'm gonna go with. Ooh, man, I don't know because
Spit it out, brother. Come on, come with it.
because I got money on Miami money line to.
We ain't
to
worried about
win
no
this game.
money.
Nah, who you
Uh,
think gonna win, player?
Come on, player.
Who you think
Miami.
gonna win?
Miami.
Yeah,
Thank
say it
you.
with your chest. Say it with your chest. Say
What
it
I
like
tell
it
you?
is.
If
I
I
don't know
tell you it's
why.
cheese on the moon, get your crack and follow me.
Oh,
All right.
shakes.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna use.
You think
I'm
you think
going with.
Tyreek and Waddle not about to score after they just had kind
We'll
of
see.
a iffy game
Hold
last
on,
week?
We'll
it's
see. I'm gonna
Waddle.
tell.
Quit saying
I'm gonna
Waddle.
tell.
It's
I know
Waddle.
it's Waddle.
I said Waddle because I want to say Waddle.
Okay.
I know he Waddle.
Okay.
I'm
I'ma be
saying
All right.
Waddle.
All right.
I'm gonna be
Tanisha.
like I'm gonna be like Eli. Eli said it. I don't know if he stole the quote from somebody, whatever. But if I tell you it's Easter, start painting your eggs.
It's right. I saw that. It was
That's right.
funny as hell.
Bengals,
Okay.
Bengals,
It was funny as
Bengals
hell.
got that one.
God,
Yeah,
it's
Eli
crazy.
threw that one out there. All right, so we got, but last one we gonna cover. We got the Bengals. Excuse me, we got the Bills and the Ravens. It's tricky for me.
Woo. Well,
Oh,
first of
that was
all,
tricky for you.
no. First of all, let me throw this out there. Right now, in my opinion, Lamar is the MVP of the league right now. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay,
This
what's your
man
pick?
is
Nobody argue
running
that.
and
Ain't nobody
throwing
ain't
and
nobody gonna argue that.
everything.
But Lamar don't play defense.
He don't.
That part is true.
I just wanted to throw that part out there because I want him to get paid.
Okay.
Now, who do I think's gonna win?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't have that confidence. I might use my management degree and go with the group after I get a collective here. I don't know. I'm not
This is
sure.
really gonna be a good game.
It
I
really
think
is.
so.
I'm
I
gonna go
think
with
so.
Buffalo. I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Is this
Okay.
a late afternoon game or a 12 o'clock
This
game?
is I'm looking it up right now as we speak.
going
It's a
with
1 o'clock
Buffalo.
game, and it's in Buffalo. Excuse
I'm
me.
going
Oh,
with,
it's in Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore. I'm going with
I'm
Baltimore.
going with Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo.
Baltimore. I'm going with Baltimore for a couple of reasons. Baltimore embarrassed themselves in front of their home fans and all that stuff with that Miami game. I just don't see them happening
Ooh, it's
again.
a 12 o'clock game.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
an
tell you
early
why.
game.
I know why I'm going Buffalo because at some point in time I really thought I saw Tua coddling Josh Allen like it was a baby, and he needed love, and I feel like that it's gonna be hard to beat him twice. He got some sense of pride. I feel like he thought in his mind they were about to go undefeated. Reality kicked in. They lost, and so he's not losing 2 in a row.
Oh, I don't think. That means I think
he was
he was
curled up in
leaning
the
on.
fetal.
I think he was leaned up on him because he couldn't stand up. I think Josh Allen was exhausted after that game.
Nah.
The Ravens
He wanted a hug.
The Ravens ain't losing too much either. They got some pride.
Yeah,
They got some
yeah.
pride, and they got some time to
But they
correct
got
some things.
But the Bills got a better team.
Yeah, but they got the best player though. Oh, yeah.
Let's be true
And
about
he
that.
hadn't-
I'm
he
not going
hadn't
to deny
tou-
that.
He hasn't even started. Well, he did hit Duvernay in those first 2 games. He hit
Duvernay
tight
is-
ends.
He has
Duvernay is
accounted for
good.
5 touchdowns twice already. I
Thank
think.
you.
Yeah.
And he hit
Lamar's the
two
best guy
tight
in the
ends.
league right now.
Andrews, ain't nobody touching Andrews. And then the other tight end got something. And then you always got to worry about Lamar running. And the Bills are down defensive players. So let's.
They are, but they got enough. They stack like
They ain't have enough last week.
They thick. Well, just because the Dolphins it's the Dolphins defense that was on Josh Allen, like white on rice. He wasn't used to that. He hadn't had that in the first couple of games.
Then you calling the Bills.
I am because
Darren,
I don't think they're gonna drop 2.
Darren, who you got?
Well, hate to say it, because I know Tina Shay thinks that she knows everything, but we're gonna go with Baltimore on this one. And look, I'm gonna be honest. And look,
I'm going with Baltimore too.
well, I know you are, but but
It's
look,
gonna.
I'll say this. I'll say this because Tanisha brings up a good point because when you look at these two teams, I mean, it is really tough to decide. Because think about it. Obviously, Buffalo's upset that they lost that game in the manner in which they did. Of course, you think they're going to come back, and especially after only scoring 14 or 17 points last week against
Exactly.
Miami. But look at Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore shouldn't feel like that they should be. I mean, they
They
probably feel like they should be
satisfied.
undefeated as well. So I
That's
mean, so they
right. They're
feel
not
like
satisfied. They
okay,
got embarrassed.
and then the last time they played a home game, they lost, and
They
so
got embarrassed.
yeah,
Them
and
fans left
so
there pissed off.
it's
What?
hard for me to see them losing back to back home games, and so
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think again, I wish this would have been a late afternoon game to go into the Sunday night game, but it's cool.
Hmm.
I'll watch that first, and then head over to the
Yeah.
stadium.
They
But
gave they gave up four touchdowns and a quarter. The
I
Ravens did
got
last night.
5 on it. Anybody?
Okay. I got
yeah,
you. I
yeah,
got you.
I'll take that bet. So yeah,
All
I'm gonna
Yeah.
right
go with
then.
Baltimore.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be a great game all the way around, but yeah, I got Baltimore in a squeaker.
Okay.
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 And
Sounds
I
good.
got the Bills in a squeaker.
Okay.
Let's go.
I just got Baltimore winning. I don't know if they're squeaking or not, but as we always say, we appreciate you, Darren. And if we're talking about it, you need to hear about it. I'm gonna go. Me and Tanisha gonna share some closing thoughts, man, some conversation. So we all know Brittney Griner is still in Russia. She's being detained. That the United States is working on, a
Bringing her
trade
home.
or bringing her home and all this. So I watched an interview with Kim Mulkey, former Baylor head coach and Brittney Griner's coach, when asked, why no comments or whatever, and I'm paraphrasing, she said, "You won't hear any comments from me." She hasn't made any comments. She hasn't been, a person that says, I want her to come home. I wish this. I wish the best of her family. We know that she's, hell, I call her homophobic, homophobic, but she's just, it's if she coached the woman for, the young lady rather for 4 years, won championships, went undefeated and all that other stuff. That
Hmm.
was fine. So as long as it fit her agenda, that was fine. It was just like all that scandal at Baylor with that sexual misconduct and all that. She's telling people if somebody says something, punch them in the face, stuff like that. So condoning bad behavior or not, and you're coaching women, and these things are happening against women, and you're not speaking up for it. I just can't
Hmm.
understand. So I never was a big fan of Kim Mulkey's. This made me. I'm not even say a big fan. I was never a fan of Kim Mulkey's, and it just disgusted me. I'm personally disgusted by her behavior, and have been for some time in her comments. Tanisha,
To steal a quote, and y'all might know it. I never minded the small things. Kim is tacky as hell. She's wrong. Um, that's an American. Do you understand? Um, that's somebody who left blood, sweat, and tears out there on the court for you. I don't know what is going on with Kim, but I will say that what do they say? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything, and I'll just shut up.
well,
Be
that
quiet.
was kind of how she's been carrying it. If she don't have nothing nice to say, I just don't,
But
don't
don't say
understand.
another word. I don't
And
want to hear
don't
from you.
Yeah, so it was really disturbing to watch that. And she's
Absolutely.
real flip about it. She's been flip about a lot of stuff, just very arrogant, very cocky. We know where
Yes.
she stands on the political side and all that. Next thing, I'm waiting to see her posing with guns and all this other stuff. But it's just like, if you don't believe in something, that's fine. You don't believe in it, right? So I'm sure every player that came to her school, and our own players, our own former players, are speaking out against her. Now she's at, LSU. So one of the players even tweeted it out, said, "Hey, when you go on these recruiting visits, or if you think, she recruiting you, think about it. Think about it, because the coach
Absolutely.
is going to tell you anything you want to hear, and then
Absolutely.
behind
We
your
we don't
back
we,
they'll
we
say
got a
something
whole
else."
show waiting for that
Yeah,
on these
so
kids.
just a shame, but just to bring that back up, that Brittany and the other gentleman that is over there, they're in our prayers.
Absolutely. And
Anybody
I
that
want them home. I want them
anybody
home.
that's away from their family, under those conditions, we want them home, and so our prayers to them. So, I can't end the show any other way but to say, hey, people, it's free, so be kind and please be blessed.
Absolutely.